Poppin' YouTube family. It's your boy Dwight. Welcome back to the channel. Silverback Siage. Hope all is well with everybody. First off, do your boy a huge favor. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you can be notified when I post new content. Now, today is the video that most people have been asking me about and when my version of it is going to come out. Without further ado, Top 10 Spring 2025. Keep it locked. Well, let's get down to business. Like I stated before, this is my top 10 fragrances that I'll be reaching for this year for spring 2025. Let's go. First one, the House of Salvatore Ferragamo with bright leather. Just recently did a video on it. What you get some fresh and spiciness. You get some lemon, citrusy opening within there. But this is not one of those leathers that just smells like a leather coat or smells like a cold weather leather. This is a warm weather leather at its finest when it comes to the scent profile. How it performs, that's got a lot to do with the reason why it's in the 10th spot, because I get about 4 hours out of it and then it's gone, needs to be reapplied. Didn't spend a lot of time or money trying to get this bottle. I just was waiting to catch it on in the rack stores, and I actually did. Very green and fresh. And like I said, like a white leather suede accord is what's in there that gives you the fresh weather, warm weather leather. At the number 9 spot, to the House of Banana Republic with 78 Vintage Green. A very, very green scent, which is going to be hence kind of the theme for your spring, because things are starting to blossom. Grass is growing. Plants is going in. Flowers blossoming. This one here is very green, very citrus heavy. And what you get out of it is some bergamot and some mandarin orange in that opening. But you still, as it begins to dry down, you get a little bit of a tea/fig combo in here. And then as it begins to dry down, it stays green, stays extremely fresh, but it's a little bit of a wateriness, like wet water or dew on the grass when you wake up is best way I can really explain it. But at the number 9 spot, this is one that you can find in almost all your Burlingtons. Occasionally you might find it at a Ross or a TJ Maxx, but mostly Burlington. You spend about $19 and get you what size bottle is this here? I don't know if it got it on here. I don't think it got it on anymore. I believe this is a 75 ml. And $19.99, you can't beat it. And you can just grab it and go in the spring. The number 8 spot. We're headed to the House of Maison Alhambra with Porto Neroli. Now this bottle here, I got to turn it around and show you. Me and my wife have got some major burn when it comes to this one right here. So needless to say, by the time spring gets here, or we get strongly off in the spring, I'll probably have to buy another bottle. About $35 is what you can do is when you catch it on Amazon or maybe like your Jama Shops of the world. This one here is a clone of Neroli Portofino by Tom Ford. And what you get out of it, you get some lemon, you get some mandarin orange, you get some Neroli, of course, hence the name. It's a very, very fresh, green, and uplifting scent profile. That there's never a bad time to smell like this. And it's also another grab and go that don't cost you a lot of money. And I think they captured the Neroli Portofino DNA pretty good. Next one. Headed to the House of Bond number 9 with Greenwich Village. And I wanted to make sure I say this right, because my fellow New Yorkers that watch the channel let me know it's not Greenwich, it's Greenwich. So you kind of got a silent W in the word, so to speak. So I want to make sure I get that right so they don't slaughter me in the comments. This one's fresh. You get a little bit of a hint of a Baccarat Rouge 540 vibe, but it's not nearly a clone. It's not a one-to-one, or I can't even say heavily inspired if you want to know the truth. I've smelled other Bond number 9s, and once I get it, I'll bring it to your attention that it kind of resembles Baccarat Rouge. But this one here, the lychee, is the star player in here. And then as you begin to go on, you get some lilies, some peony, so it's very floral with a little bit of mixture of white and pink florals in there. You got some Embroxen push. You get a little bit of people calling it like inspired by Baccarat Rouge because it's sweet. That's really what I get out of it overall. But it's perfect for the spring because it smells, especially in the heart, like blossoming flowers. So, but it's unisex. So I can wear it and my wife can. Next one, and very new to the collection. We're headed to the house of Gucci with Gucci, Pour Homme, Elixir. Yeah, all of that. That's a mouthful. Like I said it in the video when I did my video on this one here. This one here provides a very, very luxurious iris. Buttery iris butter, so to speak. But you do get some spices in there. You got some orange blossom. So you got your iris, which is the star player in this fragrance. There's some white florals mixed in there with some spice. And then as it begins to dry down, you get that vanilla Ambro Fix push. So it's like an evolved version of Ambroxan, if you ask me. Very, very good scent profile. Not a cheap designer fragrance. I want to say I spent about $160, $175, somewhere in that range on this only 2 ml bottle, which I already stated in my review of this one. Wasn't too happy with the size of the bottle for the price, but the smell makes up for the size of that bottle. That's all I can say about that. Perfect for spring, even hence the color of the bottle. Another one where the color of the bottle is a dead giveaway. And that's to the house of Parfums de Marley with Greenley. Amazing apple scent. That's very, very fresh and crisp with the apple nuances that you get on this one here. Little bit of spice hanging in the background, but it's more powder than spice. But that green apple is hard to explain how good it is, and it's one of those apple notes that you can tell the difference between the green apple and the red apple that they tend to throw in more fragrances than actual doing it with green. And then you get a little bit of some oak moss, giving it a little bit of a grown man, somewhat masculine edge. But when I say a masculine edge, it's not a masculine edge to where a woman can't wear it. It just takes a better effect on male skin that gives you the right to be able to wear this with confidence. Next one, headed to the house of Xerjoff with 40 knots. I've stated a million times about this one right here. This one could definitely give a class on how a fragrance should nuance. So you start off with the marine accords in this thing right here. Then as it begins to dry down, you get some saltiness, you get more green, you get more woodiness. But then deep into the dry down, it peaks out with some amber that's not even listed on the website for Xerjoff or no other website that I can clearly pick up on this fragrance. Needless to say, this one is definitely that one you want to spray on when you're going on a cruise or you're going on a yacht club, boat ride, or romantic boat ride, any of that. Or just you got somebody that's done rented out a boat and they invited you and all the friends, you hit them with this fragrance right here. You're going to stand apart, and you're going to have a fragrance that in the first 2 hours smell like one way to the audience that you're around. Then in the mid, it does one thing, and then 4 hours into this party, it's doing something else. This one right here is special. At the number 3 spot, we're headed to the house of Kajal with Lamar. This one here, pineapple greatness. 2 different types of rose. Bulgarian and Turkish rose, if I'm not mistaken, is in here. And you got some red berries that gives it a sweetness slash some berry nuance to it. And then as it begins to dry down, that tropical nature of this fragrance stays throughout the opening and the mid. And it starts off in the dry down, and then by the time you get to the end of the dry down, it gets musky and ambery. It's a very, very unique scent profile. No, it doesn't smell anything like Aventus, but it uses pineapple in candied kind of way to where you can appreciate the pineapple, but you can most importantly appreciate that the fact that it doesn't smell like Aventus. It took its own source of pineapple, combined it with rose, combined it with some woods and some muskiness, and it gives you an amazing sillage when you walk past people. And it's a sillage that people haven't probably smelled before unless they watch these type of videos. The number 2 spot, we're headed to the house of Roja Dove with Burlington 1819. A well sought out sought after fragrance in my collection. One of the most unique boozy scents that I've ever added to the collection. And it's one here that amongst all of the other fragrances from Roja Parfums, it has a whole slew of notes, but what I get that reigns supreme is that lime, bergamot, the rum / blackberry hit, which gives it extreme uniqueness. And then well into the dry down, you get some woods and a few different little spices like your cumins of the world, but they're not the body odor, what people kind of talk about type of deal. It just rounds out the fragrance. So it allows the booze to blend with the blackberry, to blend with the lime, to transform you into a vacation vibe. This is one that will be taking lots of trips with me in the future. It's one that I always will have in the collection. And for as long as many lists as I can put it on, I'm going to put it on there, and it's going to make spring until it potentially gets its golden jacket. And last but not least, it shouldn't surprise you what made number one my wife's favorite. Ganymede. What can I tell you about this fragrance that I haven't already said? Mineral notes, extremely fresh, extremely masculine. A man that knows what he wants in life sprays on that type of fragrance right there. A man that has high level of confidence sprays on that type of fragrance right there. He's not watching the price tag for that bottle because he knows the impact that it brings to the table when you spray this one on, to your confidence, to the nostrils of others who smell it, to a wife that loves it like my wife loves it. And the fact that this one here is like, it's a given. It's probably, and I keep saying probably because I keep fighting against it, but right now I would have to say it's the number one fragrance in my collection, not just because my wife loves it, because of how it makes me feel when I spray this one on. There's never a bad time to smell like it. It does have some strength, but it never becomes cloying, if you ask me. But it's one of the most unique scent profiles that I've ever ran across, and I'm hoping they never take it off the market because it's one of those ones that I would like to always and grow old having in my collection. Now, as you can see with these 10 right here, these are the top 10 that I will be reaching for this spring 2025. If you have some fragrances that you think I need to get my nose on that could bump some of these, leave your comment in the comments and let me know. But like I said before, without further ado, here they are. That's my time. Peace.